Hello and welcome to So Old Soul. My name is Maria and today I'm going to be talking about the Sew Over It vintage shirt dress. So here's the pattern here. I printed it out and the PDF and decorated the little pattern envelope. I've been wanting to make this shirt dress for quite a while. So back in February, I contacted another YouTuber who had been talking about wanting to make this dress. So that was Helenasew, and I asked her if she'd like to do a sort of collaboration where we both make this dress and then post videos about it so you guys can see our different versions. So we decided to do that back in February, and it wasn't until May that we finished our dresses. And we finished them around the same time. So I'm going to talk about mine. I actually wound up making two because even though that first one took me quite a while to make, I really liked it. I liked the style and the fit. So I decided to make a second one. So I'm actually wearing my second version right now. So I'm going to talk about the first one first. So this was my first version. And I used just a really simple, just a basic quilting cotton that I got in the clearance section at my local Joann's. And I really liked the print and I liked the color a lot. There wasn't quite enough. There was just barely enough to make this dress. And I had to shorten it by, I think, 2 or 3 inches. Which is not preferred. I kind of like my dresses, especially for summer. I like them to be a little bit longer. But it turned out wearable. So what do I have to say about this? It has this sort of lapel collar, notched collar, convertible collar. I'm not sure what quite shirt collar. And I really like that it has that really nice vintage look. It buttons all the way down the front. It has little gathers on the shoulders, so the shoulder seam sits forward, and then it has these really flattering gathers. And then it also has, it has gathers on the sleeves, but I chose on both versions to do a little inverted box pleat instead of gathers because it kind of makes the fabric poof out a little bit more squarely, and I feel like it gives it a really vintage 1940s look. I altered the sleeves a little bit. I just cut them shorter and did a short sleeve. So in the pattern, the sleeves are like a 3/4 length, and I'm not a huge fan of 3/4 length sleeves. So I decided to just do a short sleeve, and I did that on both versions. This one, I've turned it up. I mean, I could technically on this one as well, but so this one, because it's a quilting cotton, it's quite stiff. It does work, though. I think this dress can be made in lots of different fabrics. It could be made in something even thicker than this, and it would still look good. Or it could be made in something really thin, like a viscose, a challis. But yeah, I mean, I like it a lot. It's not, as some people have said, it's not super fitted on the waist. It's definitely a little bit looser. It does have shaping, but it's not tight on the waist. And it's actually really comfortable because it still comes in, but it's not like uncomfortable. You don't have that seam pressing up against you. So that doesn't bother me, and you can always wear a belt or put a tie in, so it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it does take a while because of the collar, and it has a facing all the way on the inside. And the buttonholes, that took me quite a while. I'm kind of terrified of doing buttonholes, though. after doing both of these dresses, I'm not really that scared of them anymore because there were a lot of buttons. I chose just these really simple wooden buttons, and then I used some blue thread to attach them, so the blue kind of pops with the pretty blue roses. And yeah, I really do wish this was just a couple inches longer, but it's cute nonetheless. So I'll pop in some photos of me wearing this one. And then the second one I made is this one here. And this is some Liberty cotton lawn. This is the Edenham print, and there's a couple different versions of this print with different colors. There's like a black with lighter flowers, and there's also a white with more primary colored flowers on it. But this one has the more muted colors. It has these really, my favorite, it has these just gorgeous little forget-me-nots on it. I love forget-me-nots. Forget-me-nots and peonies are probably my favorite flowers. So I made it basically the same. On both versions, I did not add, so it has an interfacing in the collar, so a fusible interfacing in the collar. On both versions, I did not put the interfacing on the skirt pieces. So on the button band on the skirt, there's supposed to be an interfacing right here. I didn't add that. On this version, the fabric is really thick as it is, so I figured I didn't need it. And then I didn't do it on this one, though I probably should have, because this fabric is really lightweight and delicate, and actually putting those buttons in, I think having the interfacing would have made everything just lie a little bit smoother. But it's still really pretty. I mean, this fabric this is the first Liberty fabric that I ever bought, and I've just been kind of hoarding it and looking at it and trying to figure out what to make. I mean, the print is I think it's quite unique, and I just could not figure out what to make with it. And the vintage shirt dress just kept popping up in my mind, and I decided to just go for it and make another one. So I made this last weekend, and it came together really, really quickly, probably because I had just finished the first version. So that's a tip. If you find a pattern you like, make another one right away because it's going to go so much faster. This one, because I had enough fabric, I think I had 3 yards of this fabric. And it's also wide fabric. The other one was a narrow fabric, and I didn't have quite enough. This one I think I lengthened it. I lengthened it about 7 inches. So yeah, it's quite long. It's maybe verging on too long to where it might be unflattering because I'm not super tall. I'm 5'4" or 5'5". But I wear my cowboy boots with it, or sometimes sandals. But yeah, it's really lightweight. I'm wearing my slip under it, which is my lengthened Grainline Studio Hadley, and that works out really well. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I really love this pattern. I thought the instructions were pretty clear. I didn't have any issues, really. I mean, the only issues I had on the first one, I kind of botched a couple of the buttonholes. But other than that, it was really simple. I kind of wish I had put inseam pockets in it. Yeah. Oh, I also really love the buttons on this. So I've used these particular buttons on 3 different projects, a knitting project, and then that shirt I made that I think I was wearing in my last video. Um, or no, it was the floral vintage shirt that I made. And then on this, and so these are, oh, I can't think of what they're called. Are they coconut shell? But they're like lighter on one side and darker on the other. And I've always been using the lighter side. But on this, because of these little brown leaves, that darker color looked really good. So I just flipped them around and used them on this. And I have a lot of these buttons and they're pretty multi-purpose. So I really like the buttons on this. But yeah, I love the vintage shirt dress. I totally want more. I feel like Mrs. McCarthy from Father Brown. It would look super cute with a little knit cardigan. So yes, very successful. And go check out Helena's video as well. I'll put a link below, and I will see you next time. Bye.